on our mics.
Stereo.
What's that?
I got stereo mics.
Oh, okay. I will call this meeting to order. This is the special meeting, May 2nd, 2023. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is that what we're looking at? You did think of.
Dave.
All right, Monica, roll call.
Councilman Larson. Councilman Dickerson.
Here.
Mayor Green.
Here.
Councilman Castillo.
Here.
And Councilman Burchard.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum of the council with Councilman Larson absent.
All right, sounds good. We don't have a very big agenda tonight, so let's, we have no reports or anything. Let's just jump right into it. Our first action item, Madam Clerk.
Yeah, so at our meeting in April, there was a series of change orders that were submitted to you guys for the wastewater treatment, pre-treatment project. And so I've attached this evening not only the quote that we received from the contractor who's currently doing the work, but also Bob's synopsis of the various change orders and why they were necessary. And just to remind anybody who is listening at home, change order number 7 is a gravity sewer bypass line. The proposed sewer line will divert wastewater from the Melvin Brewery. Thank you.
There you go.
Around the pretreatment building while the construction is ongoing. It's not an addition to the project. It's always been part of the project. It just wasn't in his contract, and it makes sense to do it now before we proceed any further. So the bid was submitted by JL Concrete, who has the current contract at the pretreatment plant, and his bid was for $29,922.23.
Yeah, this is needed. This was always going to be captured. Always had to be done.
Yeah.
But we just need to formalize it now, and so Mr. Shockey can get this part of the project going.
And also, Christine is also on vacation right now, and she's handling the change orders. I have the original draft of the change order. It's not been updated with the price when she returns on Thursday.
Oh, for the rest.
She'll be able to actually complete the
Okay.
change order for us so that it can be signed. So
Does anyone have any questions on this change order? The reason why? Basically, it's, I'll just read what the entirety of the change order covers, but, so it has 2 manholes and piping material to put sewer into tank and manholes, bedding materials and trucking, digging and install pipe and manholes, core drilling in the existing manhole to fit the 6-inch pipe. So that's all covered in this bid. But yeah, they've got to move a fair amount of material and all the trucking and all that stuff, and that adds up for sure. So, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve change order number 7, wastewater pretreatment project with approval of mayor to sign the change order.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of change order 7, wastewater pretreatment project with approval for the mayor to sign, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. All right. Madam Clerk, we're on to the next line item here.
Yeah, so the next item is the dump bed body that we had discussed at the last council meeting for the truck that the council moved to purchase. And so the estimate from our Public Works Director was that he estimated it to be about $20,000 to purchase the dump body to go on the truck so that we can sell Winnie.
Yeah.
And so that price, though, he did get in, it came in at $14,500. And so that's what you have for consideration. So clearly it's, it gives you all the ins and outs of it.
This is a custom
Piece.
piece because we have to have a custom piece for the new truck that we have. But again, it makes our truck, instead of just a truck, it's a plow, it's a dump truck, it's all these different things that are well needed. So pleasantly surprised
That
that
it's lower.
it's
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah, and speaking with Craig, he said, obviously, he can't make any promises about what we would be able to recapture from Winnie, but
Yeah.
this number is looking a lot more plausible than 20K.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to offset some of that.
Monica, where do we stand on the lease, and can we,
Yeah, so that's the next item.
Okay.
For consideration. So what I drafted, and then Mr. Sanderson was kind enough to edit it slightly, because he sent it back to me. And that's what you have, that's what will be next. But basically, what we're going to do is repeal and replace the resolution that was adopted at our last meeting that said you were allowed to negotiate and execute the lease for just the purchase of the truck. I've edited the language to allow it also to include the dump body, and that will be rolled into that same financing.
so we're not having to pay for it out of cash, we're rolling
No,
it into the lease?
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
that sounds good. Let's see, do we have a motion?
Make a motion for the purchase of the dump bed for the 2012 Mack truck with approval of the mayor to sign the sales agreement.
Seconded.
We have a motion, it's been seconded, any discussion?
Does that price include what it's gonna cost to get it here?
It does. If you,
Yes.
I actually noticed that
Factory
it's on the
freight to
bid
your
right at the
location?
last
Okay.
line. I'm on the bid.
Oh, factory freight to your location. Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Okay, that's a good price.
Good
Yeah.
question, yeah, I
Great
think it's a
question. Yeah,
great,
it's a great
and it's
question.
coming from Michigan,
Yeah,
so,
that's a ways away.
yeah. We did receive the plow the other day, by the way. Did you know that? We got the plow already, so,
Nice.
before we even got the truck, we delivered the plow. So, Yeah.
That's wonderful.
yeah, I think, this will be great. So, any further discussion? All those in favor of purchasing the dump bed truck for the 2012 Mack with approval for the mayor to sign the sales agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, we're on to the third item on there.
Yeah, so you have before you resolution number 510, Town of Alpine Equipment Lease Agreement to repeal and replace resolution number 507, Town of Alpine Equipment Lease Agreement. Resolution authorizing the mayor of the Town of Alpine, Wyoming to execute the lease agreement between Bank of Star Valley and the Town of Alpine, Wyoming.
Any discussion on this? Any questions before we? Basically just repeal and
Pretty
replace.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution number 510, Town of Alpine Equipment Lease Agreement to repeal and replace resolution number 507, Town of Alpine Equipment Lease Agreement.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor of resolution number 510, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, very efficient. Let's keep moving down the. Moving on down.
Okay, so, I've included in your packet, just a portion of the spreadsheets that I had sent over to you earlier with the initial projections for, both the 2023 fiscal year, budget, amendment that we have to make by ordinance, and also the proposed budget for the fiscal year 2024. So at this time, based on where we're at, in looking at historical years, particularly last year, and having some conversations with the staff, this is where we're at. However, what I'd like to do is, we're going to be holding very specific meetings with staff. So Emily is on water and sewer, and so she'll be attending some meetings next week with me and Craig and probably Rob as well, to really dive down into the details, because basically the spreadsheet that you get is an overview. It doesn't have the specific transactions. So we're going to try to do that in a smaller setting so that we can be, I think, more effective than trying to do it in a large group setting. However, in companion with that, I think there's some pretty important decisions that have to be made by town council. There's going to be decisions that have to be made about, we've already committed to some projects. We're investigating other projects, and we really need to look at how that flows in what that does to our cash in the budget. And so I'm recommending that we have 3 council budget meetings that are advertised. I would like to see them on May 9th, May 23rd, and May 30th. However, they're going to be during the day, late in the day, because they're going to be attended by staff, because I think it's really important that we don't just look at the projects from big picture, that you guys really have an opportunity to dive into the details with staff, that you're able to sit and talk to Rob about what happens, because capital projects do lead into operating expenses as well. And so we need to, and with me being new, with 2 of you being new, I think it's just an opportunity for us to really all gain some more understanding so that we can make effective decisions.
I agree with that. I think that's a good plan.
So, I know some of you, that's going to be difficult because of work schedules. Is there a time of day, though, where we're thinking later in the day? We don't mind staying late, but we're just trying to avoid 12, 14
I
hours.
was thinking like 3 o'clock or something
3,
like that.
or
would
even
probably be-
4, we could, then those of us could stay an hour or so longer.
I mean,
But
might be late to a couple of them, but.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's no problem.
I'll just have to
Yeah.
look at the dates and see what my
They're all
schedule's like.
Tuesdays, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We have, did you say the 23rd? Is that one of?
Yeah, I think they're all Tuesdays.
Yeah, they're all
9th,
Tuesdays.
23rd, and 30th.
30th.
So the,
Wait,
23rd one's on our meeting, right?
when, is our meeting on the 16th or the 23rd?
It's on the
I
16th,
thought it was on the 16th.
Oh, it is.
1st and 3rd.
Okay, so it wouldn't be one that day. You do the 2nd, 23rd, and 30th, is that right?
The 9th.
9th.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
9th
fine. Today's the
9th,
2nd, yeah.
23rd, and 30th.
Yeah.
We're doing it right now.
Right.
Yeah, who's the liaison for roads?
That's me.
Okay, because that's one that I want to definitely make sure you're at that one, and we can talk to Craig about that. Because we want to make sure we're allocating money to, fixing some of the problem
Yeah, I'm
areas
sure I
around
can
town.
make that.
Okay. I think that's great.
Do we want to do it at 3 or 4?
I say 3,
Okay.
and then,
And then if we have to move, maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
If,
that's
if for
fine.
some reason, if Frank's a little late or something, we'll
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
we'll start without him, and then we'll pick up when he
Yeah.
gets here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let's put it on the calendar and advertise for him.
Okay.
I'll be on time for that one especially.
Okay.
Since
Yeah, I'll try to come up for you guys what the expected subject will be. So that will help you, Frank, to make sure that
Yeah.
on the day when we're talking about
Sure, I can make
streets.
it work.
Yeah, okay.
Wonderful, okay,
It's fine. You got nothing else going on.
that's great.
I'm my own
It's
boss
not like you have a
anyway,
job.
so.
Do you need me to call your boss?
No, I said, no, I'm my own boss.
All right, yeah, let's pick those 3 days and we'll
Okay.
advertise and,
Yep, I'll take care of it.
and then,
Wonderful.
yeah, we'll
Thanks.
dive into some of this stuff. So with that being said, let's jump right into ordinance 305 and discussion of the fiscal year budget for
Yeah, so-
2023.
Ordinance 305, ordinance number 2023-05 is Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2023. It's basically an ordinance that amends the budget that was already adopted by Town Council last year for this fiscal year. And so, as you'll see, we're projecting general fund income, including grants, interest, and any loan funds, to be $1,679,949. In the water department, we're projecting an income of $1,052,750. In the sewer department, we are projecting a total income of $2,150,000. On page 2, you will see that that is where the ordinance then starts to break out the expenses by the fund, and you'll see for this fiscal year, we're projecting at this time that our total expenses will be $1,687,100, and we're projecting a surplus of $2,849. In the water department, the expenses are projected at this time to be $942,600 with a surplus of $10,150. And for the sewer department, the expenses are projected to be $1,966,000 with a surplus of $184,000. And so because things come up, I looked at historically what we've done year to date and calculated based on things that I think is going to happen in projects, when I think that, will we get more grant funds, will we pay more bills? So all those things are taken into consideration, but in truth, that this for 2023, this is just a work in progress until we get to June, and in June, I will just finish those
We'll have it all
numbers.
back.
Yeah, they're basically a reconciliation of what's actually happening for the fiscal year.
Can you tell us what some of the major adjustments you made were?
So, well, for this year, some of the major adjustments that I saw were simply, and some of it may be just because I'm doing it versus somebody else. Some things are being booked in ways that are not how they were budgeted for. So there was some big swings that happened that just moved money basically from one budget item to the next. For instance, in the sewer department, in sewer, there is a line item for wastewater treatment plant repairs and maintenance. There's also a line item for supplies, repair and maintenance. Even before I started doing it, wastewater treatment repairs and maintenance, some of things are booked in the supplies, some are booked in, so I don't know. So I think it's pretty much a wash. Of course, we had a huge, in the wastewater treatment plant, we had a huge repairs and maintenance budget because of the train. So you're going to see that when we go into 2024, that's going to swing down drastically, because that budget
We're
was.
doing the fix this
Yeah,
year.
that budget, there was a lot of money spent to fix, rehab the train. So, yeah. So, yeah, some other things, that I saw is that there was a reduction in money that was projected to be borrowed. There was no money borrowed. So some of that, from what I have been able to ascertain, was an assumption that we would not get money for the metering,
Right.
the radio read metering project. And so there was an assumption of borrowing $959,000 in this fiscal year, which has not happened. And as you know, we've gotten a substantial grant amount. We do have a substantial amount of money that we have to put in. And you'll see in the 2024 budget, I have budgeted for, in the water department, the need to borrow the money for our portion, so that we can look at that as well as we get into our budget meetings. But yeah, so there was quite a bit more money spent this year in snow removal. I had done, and I think you also had done it, we've been reached out to by the state a month or two ago. A lot of municipalities across the state were seeing that their snow removal was much higher than previous years are budgeted. And so they were looking to the state and reaching out to WHAM for like some relief. And so both myself and Eric filled out a survey that was sent to us for that, and now they are asking for additional information. We certainly spent more than 120% of our budget, and so now, once I get through this meeting, I need to sit down and go through those numbers and get them the numbers, because I'm hoping the state will
Maybe there's
maybe
some
be
relief
able,
fund
that
to-
they may be giving the release of
relief.
some funds.
Yep. Yeah.
So, to help us, because, because we really.
We blew the
snow
budget
rem-
at
Yeah,
the time,
we
yeah.
blew the budget, but, you can't control Mother Nature. So, yeah.
And then I know that the legislature had approved municipal relief. That was that $288,000. Did that sound right? What do we do? When do we see that? When can we?
So that, and I can send you over, because I did get, while I was on vacation, I did get the latest version of the numbers from WHAM. And so I don't think I forwarded over in the last couple of days when I was doing everything, but I'll forward that over to you guys so that you can go through that.
Okay.
But those are the numbers you'll see that I utilized when putting together the 2024 budget.
Got it.
I have budgeted for that direct distribution per what the legislation was passed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Monica.
yeah, it was, I believe it was close to another extra 60,000 over this year.
Okay.
Yeah, in the general fund.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions for Monica on this? Frank and Andrea, you guys probably more, well, you probably don't remember exactly what the budget was last year, but pretty much, I think we're just shifting some money around at this point, just to make sure we don't go over budget in certain.
Yeah,
areas.
and when you guys look at and that's one of the reasons I just included in here. So when you look at these, and on the spreadsheets I sent you, it also has previous historical years. But what you'll see is the adopted is what the town council adopted last year for this year.
Okay.
What is projected is what is in the ordinance for the first draft. And then the budget for 2024 is also then, that's what I have in red. So, just so that'll give you some ability to, I put in what you adopted and the projected, which wasn't in the spreadsheet before, because I thought for me, it was helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I
good.
mean? For me,
like-
it was helpful
I like having that.
to see that, so then you can see where the numbers have shifted.
Yeah, it's a little easier to
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah, and one of the, I think though, it was the water fund. Was it the water? One of them, we got our sewer. One of them, we got a lot of, it's sewer fund. You'll notice in the sewer fund, in the blue, it was budgeted for $50,000 in connection fees, and we've received over $365,000.
Yeah, that's
this year.
interesting.
It's, yeah, and so, again, that's some of the things in our, when we have these budget meetings, that really, we're gonna need help from the staff. I don't know, Christine will know, I hope. Or at least have an idea. She knows what's going on in this community
Yeah.
and what's coming up, just by what's going on in her office, and I'm hoping she can help us zero in on effective numbers, because in truth, it's good to know at the beginning of the year if we're gonna get $400,000 versus budget 50. So I'm not saying we shouldn't be conservative, because we certainly should. We should always project a little less income and a little more expenses, and so that we protect ourselves that way.
Yeah.
However, that's a huge swing. So we want to see if we can try to
Dial it in.
and be a little more accurate. So,
And going forward, that's with our new Cassell software, that's gonna be much
It's gonna be a
easier
lot easier.
to get all that
Well,
granular data
and-
that we're looking for.
and you know, there was another weird thing about transfers, and transfers are what happens when one person moves in a house and one person moves out of a house. And so there's a $250 fee that transpires during that transaction. Well, clearly, in historical years, those numbers have been really high, and it was budgeted for about $17,000 worth in income. But we've only captured like 2,200, and I don't know if that's a dynamic of me doing it versus Sharon doing it, if she was, because of the way
booking it in the wrong place
way it's
or different
booking,
place?
because the utility software doesn't talk to QuickBooks. So
Yeah,
if we don't see it and put it in that way, it just comes in as a payment. So moving forward with Cassell will talk to it and it'll be accurate. So I don't know if that's just.
There might have been a little. growing pain with
17,000
that, yeah.
seems
That's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot of,
for that
that's a
anyway.
lot of
Yeah.
transfers, but I don't know, maybe there was a lot of moving in and out before.
I mean, there probably was before all the rent went up and property values and people aren't selling as much as they
78
would have been.
transfers.
Is it? That
Yeah, so
is,
if you think people moving in and out, 78, that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
that makes sense. 17,000 be a lot.
Well, 250 times 7.
I've got a calculator here.
I think Jim's apparently got one in his head.
What did you say?
I said it was 78.
It's 68, it's
Oh, that was
17,000.
close.
Pretty good on the fly.
Carried the one, yeah, 68.
Still.
And so right now, what'd you say, it was 2,500?
22, yeah. It's like, I
I
think,
mean, that's like,
Eight.
it's less than 8. Yeah, it's just over 8, so anyway.
yeah, so,
Okay.
All right, well, I don't think there's anything else really glaringly jumps off the page on these initial numbers. You have adjusted the fireworks budget.
that's in the next year's budget, yes. In 2024, this is 2023.
Yeah,
Okay.
but,
I did.
okay,
I did,
okay. I'm just getting up to date with when a fiscal year starts and then,
yeah, July 4th,
that makes sense now.
yeah.
I was only off by 4 days.
You were close.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Monica? Where's our ordinance here? Yeah, everything looks in order to me, so do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve on first reading, 305 ordinance number 2023-05, budget fiscal year 2023.
Second.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of 305 ordinance number 2023-5, Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2023, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So technically, what do you say? It passed on first reading? Okay, passed on first reading. So, success. And then, let's talk about 306. Any questions?
Do you mind if I read it in the
Go ahead.
record? So we have before you the 306 ordinance number 2023-06, Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2024. And so, county income is projected at, total income for the general fund, is projected at $1,792,450. Then we have water department, total income's projected at $1,528,000. Sewer department, total income is $3,362,000. For the general fund expenses, we have a total of $1,787,250, projecting a surplus of $5,200. We have the water department expenses next, which are $1,443,000, initially projecting a surplus of $85,000. And then we have the sewer department expenses, which are estimated to be $3,361,000 with a surplus of $1,000. And the reason that one shows that little $1,000 is because in order to balance that budget, then I had to use previous year's funds, so fund reserve.
Okay.
So,
I do see one numerical error
what did I do?
on page 3, section 2, under capital outlay, that's $2,500,000, I think is what it's supposed to be.
You left out a zero.
Where are we? Show me.
Go up next page.
Oh. This one. Ah,
Is
thank you.
it, so what is that number?
It's supposed to be 2.5 million,
Okay.
yes. So if whoever makes a motion would be so kind as to note
amend that one line.
correction.
That's a new number.
It was interesting.
Thank you, great eye.
So basically, the major change in sewer department, obviously, is the capital outlay.
Yes. Yeah, because I am projecting that the remaining,
And that's all the grant, right?
that we
Yep.
spend the remaining grant funds and that we that we finish the project.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should.
yeah. So I did have a brief discussion today with Dominique when she was in here. Is it Kevin?
Kevin.
The project manager? Yeah.
Kevin.
So Kevin has been working on a budget worksheet for us. I did get it late this evening. I've not looked at it. So that, I think, will really be helpful. So he's basically it created a process to be able to really track the overall cost of that project. And so I will certainly utilize his information now that I have it.
Yeah, I
So-
looked at it. It's going to be organized by project. Each project will have its own sheet, and it flows up to the main page, so it's going to be nice
That's
to
what you
Yeah.
mentioned.
track all that
That'll
stuff.
be easier.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Monica,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Where is your lease expense for your equipment that we're getting?
So that's under debt service
Okay,
For general, wouldn't it be?
in general?
in general? Because technically it's not a debt, it's a lease.
because that's where they've all been tracked, but I can certainly edit that. I'd be happy to do that.
So, yeah, I think because I know we're playing with legal fictions here,
Okay,
but, because you're not purchasing the item, you're leasing it, and I guess the buyout after however the end of the lease period is gonna be
Dollar.
your dollar, which
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
equipment purchase, but, I think your lease needs to go in your lease and rents.
Okay.
okay, okay. I can certainly do that. I will
So-
make that on the second.
Can we do it on the second reading?
Yeah, yeah.
I will make that
Okay.
correction on the second
On the
reading.
second reading.
Thank you.
If you get audited, having gone through audits for towns before, they'll start saying, well, where was your ordinance to purchase this? And, well, no, it's a lease, okay, it needs to be a lease, so.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take care of it. Thank you so
That's
much.
easy, we can-
Because there's other items that will have to be shifted as well.
Any other questions for Monica on this? That's, to me, like, just finishing up, the sewer went up quite a bit, but
Yeah.
it's just finishing off the pretreatment plant with the grant money that's coming in. So, in general, I think the budget's just pretty well dialed in for first reading. If nobody has any other questions, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve 306 ordinance number 2023-06, Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2024 with the correction to the capital outlay of $2,500,000.
Seconded.
We have a motion, it's been seconded. Do we need to clarify that that is for the capital outlay under sewer department?
That's probably a good idea.
Can you,
Correction to the capital outlay line item for the sewer department to $2,500,000.
Jim, do we need a motion to amend the,
Yes, you need
okay, so, would you like to make a motion?
Motion to amend approval of 306 ordinance number 2023-06, Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2024 for line item capital outlay on the sewer department to $2,500,000. Is that better?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have amendment, and it's been seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now back to the original motion. Is there any further discussion? Any other questions?
I think it looks, I mean, it's all pretty straightforward,
Yeah,
like you said, for a first reading.
Yeah.
we'll get this dialed in over the next month and a half, but, yeah, I think this is pretty well dialed in, so, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of 306 ordinance number 2023-6, Town of Alpine budget for fiscal year 2024, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, ordinance passes on first reading. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
2,050,000. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. It's an interesting.
It's really tough to look at. and figure out how to say
I'm
it.
just sitting here staring at it.
Yeah.
It's all good, Monica. We love it.
Poor Monica.
All right, any other, action items, agenda? Any discussions?
Monica, are we talking about, should I bring it up at the next meeting or at the workshop about setting priorities for Jorgensen?
So I think that needs to be one of the subjects in one of the budget
Yeah.
meetings.
Okay.
I think in one of our public budget meetings, we need to have, Dominique here, and then we need to go through that she's put together for us, and that's when the council, because that will then flow into, the budget.
So she's gonna re-email me the capital outlay projects. I'll send that to the rest of the council and we can take a look and see what we can get on the books for her then. Okay.
Yeah.
Has she sent it to Monica?
I think I got it, I think
She
I got
said she'd
it
sent
late.
in the past.
today.
Yeah, but okay, good, she was gonna resend it.
I guess
Yeah.
just have
Monica
Monica
can
send
send
it,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
do your,
Perfect.
She sent me that and what Kevin had sent, so late this evening.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I haven't looked at either. Well, she had originally sent it to me because she wanted my opinion on how it looked, which then led
right,
to some conversations. I did get some clarification on, what Alan's gonna be doing, but again, I think that just all needs to be part of that conversation
Okay.
when they're here.
That sounds
Yeah.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll hammer down on their budget and what we're forecasting, and it's nice how they do it, because they show all the capital projects, and we can figure out, are we spending money in 23, 24, 25, 26, 27?
Right.
They have it out to 27, so we just know that we have, when we're gonna capture, when we're gonna have to see that.
Yeah, when she was here also, she was, so the way they're naming the projects on the invoices, can lead to some confusion. So I had to ask what our bill was for this month, because it said grants. Well, but was that grants for sewer? Was that grants for water? Or is that for general? And so, yeah, so that led, so she's going to revamp our invoicing. They're gonna highlight them. I gave her my color-coded system for yellow for general fund, green for sewer, and then blue for water. So they're gonna highlight the bill just to help us over the next couple months, but then for July 1st, they're gonna shift into, their bill being broken out by fund and then broken out by item, yeah,
Yeah,
which I
that would
think,
be a lot easier. Yeah.
on the billing side, yes.
Yeah,
I think it'll lead to less confusion, so,
And for forecasting in the future,
yeah.
so we'll know what we spent on everything, so.
yeah.
Sounds good. World record for this administration.
42 minutes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Turn off your mic.
Good job.
I mean, we can sit here till 9 o'clock. if you guys would like.